Hello everyone, Marsh W13 here with a restaurant review from New Orleans' famed French Quarter. Today we'll be dining at Mr. B's, a restaurant that likely needs no introduction for locals and tourists alike. It's part of the Brennan's restaurant empire and has served the Crescent City since 1979. Mr. B's is a sort of upscale casual restaurant, and although I don't always recommend the bar even for solo travelers, I think this one is particularly warm, historic, interesting, and lively, and it's a perfect place to pass your lunch hour. By far the best wine pairing in general for regional Creole and Cajun cuisine is a Sauvignon Blanc, which is what we've ordered here. Sauvignon Blancs on the whole are acidic and crisply refreshing, the perfect accompaniment for fish and light to moderately spiced herbaceous ethnic foods, and what a generous pour one receives here at the bar. This Sauvignon Blanc was obviously on the cheaper, less expressive side, typical of American house wines. It was a little oaky and bubblegummy. But the primary attraction here at Mr. B's is of course the food. The seafood gumbo is served exhibition style. Their most famous gumbo is called gumbo yaya, consisting of just chicken and andouille sausage, but I opted for the common seafood variety, which did not disappoint with its super dark and thick roux. I dislike overly watery gumbos, and this one was anything but. As gumbos go, it was a bit on the saltier side, but well seasoned overall with extremely deep, complex flavors. In my opinion, this gumbo was every bit as good as anywhere you'll find in town, but the pairing with the Sauvignon Blanc was a bit underwhelming, probably thrown off by the oak. French bread is of course a mainstay in this city, and although this one was far superior to the average French bread you may find in your hometown, it was actually a bit stale next to others in New Orleans, but butter cures all bread-borne ills. For the main course, I opted for barbecue shrimp based on the bartender's recommendation. Now, for the uninitiated, New Orleans-style barbecue shrimp is not prepared on a grill or with typical barbecue sauce. Rather, these are fresh, head-on shrimp cooked in a dark, buttery, tangy sauce. There doesn't seem to be any civilized way to consume this dish. It's so messy, in fact, that the waitstaff personally place a bib on the neck of all patrons brave enough to order it. The shrimp, as expected, are giant, succulent, and savory, perfectly spiced. What really sets this rendition apart is its peppery notes and the subtle harmony of Cajun spices. This particular barbecue shrimp sauce is almost like a Mexican mole. Sweet, savory, velvety, almost chocolatey, infused with rich shrimp broth of the highest quality. Simply sublime. And to follow the barbecue shrimp, specifically, diners are served a hot towel with slices of lemon. Now, I decided to bring some takeout back to the room, and I'll briefly comment on these additional dishes, starting with a salad which was fairly standard, although the greens were extra fresh with a spicy herbaceous dressing. The subtle crunch of the pecan and the salty, almost meaty quality of the Italian cheese, along with the generous portion size, make this bistro salad quite distinct. The pasta jambalaya is a dish that you won't find just anywhere in New Orleans, but how does it compare to other Mr. B's specialties? I'd describe the dish as satisfying, but a bit more pedestrian next to a transcendent delicacy like the barbecue shrimp we had for lunch. I will say that it was a surprisingly light dish, and I imagine it must be quite popular. All four proteins were cooked perfectly, and there was nothing texturally displeasing. The star was probably the duck meat, which only inspired me to perhaps try the duck spring rolls on my next visit to Mr. B's. Now, there's no better way to end a New Orleans meal than with a bread pudding, but that dessert can be notoriously hit or miss. This rendition, however, I must say is remarkable. The bread is soft, supple, and heavily nuanced in flavor. The creamy coconut and dried fruit really come through. Texturally, this will be some of the softer and more cinnamon-forward bread pudding you'll find. It's got that doughy, slightly underdone bread quality, just beautiful. So overall, what do I think? Well, Mr. B's is unquestionably a New Orleans institution that can fly under some tourist radars, but those foodies in the know who want a reasonably priced local meal where the food is traditional, but with an innovative twist at a nice restaurant that does not require a coat and tie, you simply cannot go wrong with Mr. B's. Hope to see you there, and let me know if you enjoyed it as much as I did. Until next time, pleasant travels and good eats. Marsh W13, out.